Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. My name is Kartik, one of the co-founders of ETH Global, and I am super excited to welcome all of you to the DAOHacks Finale. Thank you so much for waiting. I know this took us a little bit longer than we planned. There's a lot of amazing projects, so without further ado, let's get right into it. So all of you watching this thing on ethglobal.tv, the goal here for us to use this is so we can have a shared experience around this thing, so everybody who's participating in the hackathon can kind of come and sign in and say hi and kind of engage with everybody else out there, and also for everybody who joined us for the summits and the opening kickoff, as well as this live stream will be receiving NFT collabs. So this hackathon is brought to you by ETH Global, and for those of you who don't know what ETH Global is, we're an organization with a very simple mission. Our goal is to bring on thousands of developers into the Web3 ecosystem. And we do this primarily by running hackathons and summits. So DAOHacks was a mix of both. The last 48 hours have been incredibly fun. For the hackathon piece, we have 500 hackers, over 500 hackers who participated in the last 2 days, building amazing projects from 62 different countries, and they span 16 different time zones. It was so much happening at all given times of the day for all of us, and that kind of got us to this closing ceremony. We kind of mapped out where everybody was coming from, and it's just incredible to see so many countries and continents being represented. And in addition to all those 500 plus hackers, we had 26 ecosystem partners and 47 ecosystem mentors that were around helping unblock all these teams. And with all of that combined, we're going to be giving away over $50,000 in prizes today. So right after all the demos, we're going to go into who won what prizes. So it was an incredible morning for us. We had 128 projects that came out of this. These are 128 incredible projects that just were built over just this weekend in the last 48 hours. So excited to see what some of these amazing projects have done, and we want to showcase a lot of them here. But before that, I want to quickly thank some of our incredible partners that made all this possible and helped out and are going to be giving away a lot of incredible prizes. So first off is Filecoin and IPFS. I want to thank them for all their support. And then Superfluid, The Graph, Rabbit Hole, Unlock, Skill Wallet, Lens Protocol, Covalent, Developer DAO, Tally, Links DAO, Friends with Benefits, Llama, Coordinate, Reverie, The DAOist, Alliance DAO, Orca Protocol, Parcel, Utopia Labs, Factory DAO, Gearbox, ENS, and Leica. So without their support, we want to have an amazing set of workshops, talks, interviews, and panels, and also some incredible prizes that you can win. So let's get back to the hackathon. I know all of you are eager to see what came out of it. When we initially kicked this off, we had these 7 high-level themes that we thought were what we thought, and we gathered from all of these DAOs that we talked to understand what they think is needed in this space, whether it's for tooling or different ways to tackle how we can participate in DAOs better. So what we're going to see today and what we saw from these 120 projects was a mix of all these themes being tackled in really interesting and unique ways. And this is what takes us to what we're going to do now, which is our 10 incredible finalists who are going to demo what they built. So we had 128 submissions that kicked us off into 10 finalists that have gone through the judging of the last few hours. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be bringing on these 10 teams to do a live demo of what they built, so you can all see some of these incredible hacks. And then after that, we'll be jumping right into the prizes. So without further ado, I'd like to congratulate, in no particular order, CompoundL, Review DAO, They Don't Know I Own This, Songs NFT, DAO Quest, Butter, DAO Serve, Refund, License DAO, NFT DAO Factory, and DAO Power. A lot of DAOs and toolings around here. So these are our 10 finalists. They'll come on one by one, and we're going to go into the demos to see what they built, and then we'll cover the prizes. But before we kind of jump into that, I want to quickly take a second and thank all these incredible 120 projects that came out of this event. Just because you were not one of these 10 teams does not mean you were not good enough. We wanted to just highlight some of the projects we're excited about and what everybody is excited about and what they want to showcase. But there's a lot of stuff that you can and some of you were not able to in the last 48 hours, and we totally understand that. So we want to encourage all of you to keep building. A lot of you have already emailed us asking for more feedback on some of your projects. So we're more than happy to share more feedback or connect you with anybody you're trying to get in touch with. So please keep building. And if you need any help from the global side, we are more than happy to help out with anything we can. So To find out about all the other projects that came out of this, you can all head over to showcase.etheglobal.com. That's where you will find all 128 of these projects. And then after this live stream ends, you'll also be able to see what prizes you won on your own project page. So if you missed this thing, or, well, I guess if you're sleeping and you don't know I'm saying this, you can just wake up tomorrow morning and go back to your showcase page and you'll see all the prizes that you won. So let's get right into it. We have all these 10 amazing projects. We're going to bring them on back to back. There won't be any Q&A, just a lot of demos, and we'll go into prizes. So without further ado, I want to welcome our first demo of today. That is CompoundL. And then after that, we'll have They Don't Know I Own This Song's NFT. So with that, let's welcome CompoundL, and I'll ask you to turn your video on and get right into the demo.
Awesome, thank you. Let me just share my screen. And whenever you're ready, Andrew.
Okay, let's get started. So we are CompoundL. So just to start, I would like to introduce you guys to our rockstar team. We got me, Andrew, on the front end. We got Justin on the full stack side, and then we have Ulad doing the back end. So for our hackathon, we created an application to easily manage payroll for DAOs. So what is interesting about our product is that we use a payment stream versus a one-time payment using one of our sponsors' payment solutions. This allows new and interesting ideas to be implemented within this space. With that said, I will hand over the mic over to Ulad.
Okay, yeah, I will talk how it actually works. You're logging with your skill wallet, and then depending on your current role, you have few options. Core team members can set up salary stream to other community members, and also they are able to see current burn rate and last 12-hour burn rate. If you just community member, on our dashboard, you should be able to see your current income and last 12 hours income. These last 12 hours aggregates we are using, we are receiving via the graph protocol. And another option that we also provide to our members is to generate payslip and pin it to IPFS. Then later you can download it. And what is really amazing about this product, that to build it, we was not required to write any smart contract. And now Justin will do some short demo.
Awesome, thank you, Ulad. So we've deployed our page to the URL you can see at the top here, and we can go ahead and connect our wallet, where with Skill Wallet, we're required to log in with MetaMask. And then we are currently logged in now as the core team of our community, and therefore we can see the burn rate of our community, where we see the DAI spent over the whole last day, and then how the burn rate varied over the last 12 hours. Then we can also go further, go have a look at the salaries, where here we are now querying all the members of our community from Skill Wallet. And we also get their position, like their role in the community from Skill Wallet, as well as their username. And then we also get all the member addresses and use this to get the existing payment streams from Superfluid, where we can then see, for example, that Andy currently has a salary of 10 DAI per hour. And we can also say, well, Andy did a good job. He should be earning more, and can change his salary. And then once that happens, we have to confirm the transaction. And once that's confirmed, we can see that the salary has been updated. And then the third point is also very important, because in order to comply with regulation, of course, we have to aggregate these stream information over a certain time period. So here we can see that, for example, for one specific date, we've now aggregated what has been paid in the last 24 hours, just summing up the whole stream. And using this, we can also create a payslip, which pins all this information to IPFS and then opens it in a new tab. And as this is known to sometimes take some time, I've also opened it here. So you can see that here we've got the wallet, we've got the amount, when it was paid, and the username of our member. And of course, in the future, we also want to build on all this. So we want to move our version to production. Then most crucially, we want to integrate with Gnosis Safe, just to allow a multi-sig procedure rather than one wallet paying for all the members. Then also we want to add functionality to add and remove members. We want to accept other tokens outside of DAI for payments. And then also we would just want to show more information for the community. Here you can find our project. And that's all for today. Thank you.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for going first and doing a live demo. And this is awesome. Streaming salaries is it just makes everything more real time. And there's a lot of things here to manage, like a full team. So this is great. Can't wait to see this go to production.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. With that, we are ready for our second demo, and that is, they don't know I own this song's NFT. So whenever you're ready.
Hey.
Hi. Sorry. You hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you. And if you're going to play the video, let's also make sure you have the sound.
Hi
Share.
everyone, the name of our project
Perfect.
is We Don't Know. My name is Yuli and I also have Mark with me. Our project is about freedom and safety. Security is something we all need, and by now almost everyone has someone among their closest friends and family who has lost important items due to the abundance of scams and viruses on Discord, Twitter, and malicious websites. But how do you prove that you are a part of a club if you don't feel safe showing your proof? We believe security issues hold people back from using their NFTs in the way they were intended to be. But what if you could store your NFTs in a cold wallet without losing the ability to use them in the services that support the protocol? They Don't Know is a protocol you have been secretly waiting for since you finally bought your precious cold wallet. But how does it work? The solution is made possible with off-chain cryptography, signing a message containing your hot wallet address with your cold wallet. Then using the hot wallet, this information gets verified on-chain and stored in a smart contract. This is where third-party integration will get vital. But how does it work? Mark will show you.
First, you have to connect. Now I'm going to switch to a live demo. So here's the application. You will have to copy your cold wallet address and your hot wallet address UI. And this is the one point where you have to connect with your cold wallet to sign a message. And then you can disconnect forever. Then switch to your hot wallet. And submit the transaction, which basically stores this mapping of from the hot wallet to the cold wallet. And so, for example, here we have an NFT in the hot wallet and another one in the cold wallet. If we check with our contract, now it shows the balance that it has actually 2 NFTs when we query for the hot wallet. Yeah, so it's basically, a secure way of storing your NFTs in a cold wallet, but you can use them with your hot wallet when integrated with third-party providers.
can also use for.
Yeah, so it can be used, could be used with snapshot.org for voting, or yeah, it can be useful for parental control and just keeping your assets safe. Thank you.
Awesome. Being able to show proof of ownership as a proxy, this is super cool. And if you are able to actually do that on Snapshot and get those votes to count, then this is going to be pretty big for all the DAOs. Well, thank you so much for that demo, and congrats.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Next up is our third demo for today, which is Project Butter. So whenever you're ready, feel free to get started. And I believe you'll be playing a recorded video because not all of your team is here. So we'll get that looked up too.
All right, cheers, Kartik. Hi, everybody. I'm Vaughan, not your handle, from Butter, and here's Kevin as well from Butter. I'm going to just share my screen. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, so we're Butter. We organized a couple of days ago, came up with this idea and threw it all together. So the team who aren't here includes Kevin, who's doing the contracts, myself doing the PM, and then Kohei and Alex, who aren't here at the moment. Butter is focused on treasury management for DAOs. It's a really big problem. We see massive treasuries across the entire space, really, really hard to manage, and just going and taking a look through some discourses will prove that this is not an easy problem to solve. So the idea is simple, spread the treasuries around, right? There's treasuries that have a lot of a single token, typically their own governance token, which means they're very overexposed to risk if their token halves in price, or if there's a lot of volatility in the market. And that's really bad for the treasury because there's a bunch of people who are relying on it, and they need to make sure that they have the funds to pay for their operations, or exist in the future, or complete their missions. So very simply, spread the risk across assets with Butter. Treasury diversification is something that everybody talks about, but actually executing that in a DAO is very tough. So we've got a bit of a governance problem. Messari actually did an entire piece on this last year, where they just kind of took a survey of the top protocols and found that most of them still hold most of their treasury in their native tokens. That has changed a lot, but still, again, it's not an easy thing to do. There aren't really good tools for doing it. And enter Butter. So, as I described, if a token were to drop like 80% in value, that could actually be fatal for many DAOs, given the thing they need to do, especially if they don't generate new capital over time or new revenue, which goes and feeds the treasury. So yeah, we can come up with a solution for that. Solution here is we diversify the DAO's treasury over time, and the time part is important. One thing that DAO cannot do is just like market, sell, and dump a bunch of their own governance tokens. It looks bad for the protocol, it's bad for token holders, and so on and so forth. So we think there's a potentially good solution there to kind of ease out of that token over time without kind of making any significant market moves. And obviously you have the threat of outside attacks, people watching the chain, looking at the mempool, seeing that a DAO is about to dump a bunch of its tokens, and then just like front running that. So we want to kind of have some strategies to protect against attack as well. So the other thing we want to do is we want to have multiple strategies. Also, DAOs don't really, lots of DAOs fight this idea of using their token in a very kind of like degen way. And so you kind of want to have some responsible strategies that are vetted and seen as being safe and secure, and not really about being aggressively DeFi and just trying to like pull as much value out of the ecosystem as possible. So the idea here is we would stream the treasury into multiple strategies that kind of like diversify and rebalance over time. And with that in mind, we started with what we think is obviously a core piece of infrastructure for the entire DAO community, which is Gnosis Safe. So a strong multi-sig that works and people already trust. And so we've built this as a Gnosis Safe app. So it inherits all of the security of Gnosis. And then Balancer, we're using Balancer pools to do rebalancing automatically, and Superfluid to stream tokens into those pools. And one of the most interesting parts about that is this is kind of a novel implementation of Superfluid, because we're actually streaming tokens into a pool over time. And the real benefit of this approach is really that we get to see a token go in over time, and we get to control it. So there's the component of putting tokens into a pool, which balances over time, which gives you some controls, but then also the governance controls to pause, increase or decrease the flow of tokens in kind of like a monthly cadence, which would be really useful for DAOs to have as a pattern in how they govern their treasury. This is a process flow about how we actually do that. It's not something that's super important for right now, so we'll move on and we'll get to the demo. And the product, as I said, is secured by Gnosis Safe, DAO stream tokens to DAI, ETH, or state ETH diversification strategies. So one, is just to go into stables, one's to go into ETH, and one's to go into like a state interstate ETH for some growth. So I'll go to the demo. So I'm just going to talk through this part is a video. I'm just going to talk through what's happening here. So we're now in Gnosis, Gnosis Safe. As for anyone who uses this is the kind of interface that most DAOs would see on a day-to-day basis whenever they're having to conduct a treasury transaction, a purchase, paying for things like payroll and so on. They go into the app section, load up the app, and inside Butter, instantly they would see their portfolio. Obviously, this is work in progress, and we'd improve this over time. But you see your portfolio, see, wow, am I overbalancing my own governance token? That's insane. And maybe here we could do some projections around what that might look like given certain scenarios, like what happens if the token doubles in value, halves in value, and so on. You pick the strategy, you load it up, you see the parameters. And again, what we're really doing here is solving an information problem. We're condensing the amount of options that DAO has when it thinks about governance treasury. We're saying, hey, just pick some weights, pick some amount of time you want to kind of rebalance over, and then yeah, submit it and set up the pool. So here you're going to see us just setting the pool up. There's not much to show on the back end. Most of this is back end, so we don't really have anything to show there. But what we're doing is like setting this up, and it will just now run for the predetermined time. And at the end, the DAO treasury will have rebalanced to be like, say, 80-20. So you'll have slowly just kind of diversified out of the governance token. So yeah, a few things that we wanted to do in the future was we also introduce a method for streaming tokens back out, and also introducing kind of an overclocking feature where if the token grew a lot in a small period of time, in a very volatile period of time, we'd actually just stream tokens back out of the pool. So it kind of like ramped up in terms of how quickly it was diversifying and weighting towards the stable. But yeah, that's it. That's all we got done this weekend. We're going to do some more. It was really exciting and really good to hack with the team. And yeah, looking forward to doing more. Thanks, everyone.
Amazing. Well, I think I'm going to steal a comment from Mark from the live stream, which is, this is as smooth as butter. This was awesome. And it's a super unique case for streaming payments. I know the whole Superfluid team is watching this live stream, and they're already excited. So this is great. I hope we get to use it soon too. Congrats.
Yeah.
All right. With that, we are ready for our next demo. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Project Refund. Alexander, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Kartik. I have a pre-recorded demo video, so here it is.
Just to check if there's an audio. I don't think the setting was checked, so you want to do that one more time.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think now it will be better.
Hi, my name is Alexander, and I will show a quick overview of Refund project. DAOs need to pay for real-life goods and services, such as food, airplane tickets, software subscriptions, and so on. Usually, a DAO member would pay in fiat and then get a reimbursement in cryptocurrency. Refund is an expense management system for DAOs, and the app tracks and files expenses such as fuel, travel, and meals. Users create requests by uploading the receipts and then get reimbursements from their DAOs. To create a new organization, choose a name and add DAO members. DAO member can be registered either as an approver, which gives the power to approve or deny expenses, or a regular member who can create new reimbursement requests. We need to add all the members and then click Create, approve the transaction in MetaMask, and wait until the refund contract is created. and Refund organization is created. Now we need to send funds to DAO's account, and we'll put the amount, click send funds, approve the transaction again, and we can see that organization balance is increased. Next, we'll show how to create a new requests. To create a request, the user has to log in using its wallet address. And now we can see user role, it's a member. And we'll now create a new request. First, we need to upload a receipt photo using IPFS and Web3 storage. And after that, AI will scan the image and automatically recognize the amount on the receipt. Then we need to choose category and fill in the description. And finally, send a request. We need to confirm the transaction, and after a few moments, the approver will get notified that a new request has been created. Also, a member can see its request in My Request list, and the current status of that request is processing. The approver can see all the requests for the whole organization, and it can see all the details for each request, like creator of the request, receipt photo that has been uploaded, the description of the request, and finally, the approver can either approve or deny pending requests. In this case, we'll approve it and confirm transaction. And after a few moments, a member gets notified that the request has been approved. And also wallet balance is increased as well. The status of the request is updated too. It's showing approved. And that's all for this demo. Thank you for watching.
Amazing.
For
A whole reimbursement process that is Web3 native is incredible. This is awesome. I mean, this is a problem that I definitely have on a day-to-day basis, but this is great. Congrats.
Thank you. Thanks.
Hopefully we all get to use it soon. All right, and next up we have NFT DAO Factory. So whenever you're ready.
Hey, how's it going?
Going great.
All right. Share the screen. Cool. Yeah, so hello everyone. My name is Teddy. I have one other teammate whose name is Theo, and our project is NFT DAO Factory. And so we combine the features of an NFT collection smart contract and a DAO smart contract, and makes it so that the NFT holders become voters in the DAO. And so, you know, we've been tired of like getting scammed in different collections, you know, so pretty much the, you know, owner comes up with a really good story and even sells out the mint, raises millions of dollars, and then, you know, takes the money and doesn't execute the roadmap, you know, just withdraws the money and disappears, and, you know, kind of leaves the community hanging sometimes. And so we tried to build something that could prevent that. And so the community votes on when allocations from the treasury go to the owner. So say the owner raises $1 million, someone in the community needs to create a proposal to say, you know, 100,000 will go to you, you know, next week, and you need to use it for this. So that's, again, the premise, and I can show you how it works. So we have this deployed on as a static site at GitHub, and then yeah, you know, we can do ETH global as the name, ETH, and your total supply of the NFT collection will go with 100, and then votes needed to pass a proposal, and this is to prevent, you know, proposals with 2 people voting on it from getting passed. So you know, we'll say at least 10 people need to vote on it for it to be considered. And then, to create a proposal, you need to own 3. This way, not everyone is creating proposals. And triggers MetaMask, and then you pay the gas fees. And, right now we're not charging a fee. It's a factory, so anyone who wants to start a new collection, NFT DAO, can use this as their starting point. And because we've had a bunch of friends, who even paid us to help them launch a collection. So a lot of people out there, looking for these types of services. So we figure maybe this could be even become a business. And then I'll show some of the smart contract. There's a couple other features there you can see in the remix. So this is the data model for a proposal. Keeps track of who created it. How many votes? Is it live? Is it passed? And then executed is false. And then so once it's executed, that's when if it did pass all the criteria, then the money gets sent. And then voting is simple yes and no. You put in the proposal number. We'd say 1. Here's the IPFS hash with the description. And then you can vote. And then so before I go more to that, we also have a discover area of the site, and the purpose of this is to index the different collections that we help create, and then it shows the different events that that collection smart contract is emitting. So this way you can keep track of them. You can see, okay, well, there was a couple of proposals submitted today, and okay, the owner got money on this day. Just kind of gives you a simple interface, and we use the Covalent API just to read events for this, and we also tried to make sure that the NFT collection had the features it needs, where you can set the minting live with a price. You can turn it off if you'd like. It gives you the ability to change the base URL so that you could do a pre-reveal and reveal it at a later date. So I want to keep it simple, but also with some good little features, so that maybe it would appeal to a lot of different people. That pretty much sums it up. So I think I'm done.
Amazing, thanks, Teddy. So this is basically community as a service for any NFT. This is great. Well, I hope you kind of continue building this, and now we get to use it soon.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, that was demo number 5. We have 5 more to go. So without further ado, let's welcome Review DAO. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hi all.
Hello.
We are all double labs with a project called Review DAO. Okay, let me share my screen, please, for you. First, we got a presentation describing our project, and gather briefly introduce our demo on localhost.
Hello everyone, I would love to present to you about our hack for DAOHacks. Review DAO is an organization managing countless number of token-curated registries. We have 2 tokens, Review DAO token based on OpenZeppelin implementation of ERC20, and Review DAO NFT based on OpenZeppelin ERC 721 and Azuki 721A. Review DAO is the master body. NFT holders propose new lists. One NFT can propose 1 list per month. Each NFT has 1 vote per week for proposed lists. Successful vote gives the owner a reward in Review DAO token. Once per week, a new list with the most votes is created by the factory. The owner of the proposal gets large Review DAO token reward. This deploys a new TCR contract where people can apply for listing. Parameters in this contract are controlled by the settings contract, and they can be modified by successful proposals in Review DAO. Let's consider a list called Best Rock Bands. Roger Waters tries to apply for Pink Floyd. They stake their tokens plus a possible challenger reward, which is double the stake. And registration period of 2 weeks begins. If the registration period ends with no challenger, the challenger reward will be refunded to them, but their stake value will go to the Review DAO master contract for governance rewards. They will be added to the list. If anyone is brave enough to challenge Pink Floyd, They match the value of the stake and send it to the contract. Then a challenge period begins. Any person with enough tokens can vote either for including or excluding Pink Floyd from the list. Each vote costs a certain number of reviewed DAO tokens, but each voter gets refunded after the challenge is over. Pink Floyd wins the challenge. Their stake goes to the review DAO contract for governance, and they get refunded the challenge reward. All voters who voted for including them in the list then share the tokens of the challenger stake equally. Then the subject will be added to the list. Now let's consider Nickelback tries to apply for the listing. Someone immediately challenges them, and after 2 weeks, Nickelback loses the challenge. Now the challenger will get the challenger reward, and their stake will go to the review DAO contract for governance. Remember, the challenger reward is twice the stake, meaning the challenger will essentially double their tokens. Every person who voted against during the challenge will get equal share of the subject's stake. Then the subject does not get included in the list. There is no risk for people who vote for proposed subjects. There is a risk for the challenger, but they have the possibility of doubling their tokens. Even if a subject loses the challenge, they can try to reapply later. Once a subject is added to the list, people with enough tokens can upvote and downvote the subject. If the subject vote count reaches certain negative value, they get banished from the list, but can reapply later again. We are using IPFS to store images and descriptions of list proposals, lists, and listings. We are querying data from the graph. Tokens are implemented using OpenZeppelin ERC20 and ERC721. Thank you.
Okay, that was our presentation. Now let me introduce briefly our application. So we got a few main pages. We have cards representing each list, and if we click on the list, we got a few items directly to that particular list, and we got next pages which are representing apply for a new item and show current applicants. We already connected. If I input here some list name and some list description, for example, some Alan Walker. So if open, I'm gonna choose some image. It's gonna create IPFS right there to the applicant page. As we can see, we get here a structure of a JSON. If we redirect to image, we got our Alan Walker image. Okay, can go on.
So we still yet have to connect the contracts with the application itself because there was not enough time to do that for ourselves. The contracts are big. We are starting with the review DAO contract, which is actually using the factory, which is creating the new lists, the NFT, which is the governance token for the review DAO, and the token, which is the governance token for the lists itself. The factory can create a new list, which then has the functions to excuse me. So we can create the new list and the list has all the implemented methods to actually list the item we want to list, the challenges, the voters, and the polls are implemented. So we still have to connect the backend with the front-end application, but there was not enough time to do that during the little time of 2 days. Thank you.
Thank you. Totally understandable. There's only so much you can do in 48 hours, but this is great. And it's been a while since we've seen Nickelback show up anywhere on the live stream. So that's a good fun. All right. Well, congrats, and hope you keep building this.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Next up, we have DAO Quest. So, Bit, whenever you're ready.
Hi. Okie dokie. So we have been creating an app because we recognize that DAOs can be sometimes very complex and the info can be scattered all over the place. And sometimes it can be difficult for new members or overwhelming to understand what the DAO even is about. So we wanted to create a more standardized and gamified onboarding process. We approached this problem with trying to implement a questing system that familiarizes new users with the idea and the structure of a DAO by doing quests that are created by the core DAO members and introduce, well, the idea of a DAO to them. So we managed to do this with the basic mechanism of quest creation, submission of proof of completion, and the reviewing process where the quests can be, or the quest submissions can be either accepted or rejected. And if they are rejected, they can be resubmitted. So I'll show you briefly how the app looks like and how it works. So you can log in and enter. And then you have the options to either search for a quest chain if you're a person that wants to get to know certain DAOs, or if you want to create a quest chain for your own DAO or a group or whatever. And then there's the overview of quests, where you have access to your current progress, and there's also a panel for submissions where you can review the quest submissions that were submitted for the questions that you have made. Okay, so if we search for a quest chain, I prepared a quest chain which already has 5 quests added. I will show you how to add the quests. So we're adding the quest 6. Do this and that. Here you can write what this quest is about and what the person should do. So because we have set a limit to max 5 quests that are free, the user can then select a basic plan where they have where they get more quests available for creation, or a premium plan where they just get infinite amount of quests created. So if we select the basic plan, we can then create a stream. Just a second. So the stream is being created. We can now add the 6. Oh no, just let me refresh. Well, we can now add the 6 quests. Anyways, it will ask for an approval, and it will take some time before it appears. But we can, in the meantime, look at the overview of quests, where I have already submitted proof of completion for a quest, and here it is waiting for a review to either get rejected or accepted. Or I can, oh, this was the, just let me log into another account. This one. Okay, here you can see that I'm missing the panel for quest creation because I logged in with another account and I'm not the owner of this quest chain. But what I can do here is upload some proof. Okay, so you can write a description of what you did, and you can upload any kind of media file and store it on IPFS. again, we need to wait for approval of the transaction. And while we wait, we can actually take a look at the other account, which has created this question, and see that we have some quests that were submitted and are waiting for our approval or rejection. And here we can approve it. And then the person who has submitted this quest well, proof of completion will get it accepted. So this was pretty much everything we have managed to do during this hackathon. The follow-up idea is to mint an NFT or some kind of a proof that members or like trials or newcomers have finished a particular quest chain, and use this or store this in either skill wallet or some kind of a profile that can track the history and showcase that that people have finished and completed onboarding and showcase their skill. This is it from my side.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And hope to get more interesting ways of doing quests for different DAOs. It's great.
Thanks.
All right, three more projects to go. So next up is DAO Serve. So whenever you're ready.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna share my screen now. Okay. So we are DAO Serve. So you could call us wave alert of DAOs, and we have created a tool to help DAO scale and ensure its survivability. So the main problems that we see for the DAOs is that the DAOs are prone to getting attacked and getting FUD because of their untransparency. So now that, now that we see the problem, we are trying to come up with an idea of how to solve that. So right now we have created a which will be plugged into the landing page of any DAOs, and then you can see the query from covalent and subgraphs. So for the operation, first that we will use covalent and subgraphs to query the data of treasuries and parameter changes, and also governance proposals. And then we will store it on our backend and the database. And after that, we will format the data and send it to the widget, which will be inserted into the landing page of the DAOs. So now, let me show you the website. This is a demo website. As you can see, this is the widget that can be inserted, and we have demoed it with Aave proposals. And then, as you can see, users who are not part of the Aave DAO can also vote to provide more engagement for the community through this. And then also with the immense amount of on-chain data, we can also provide analytics into the DAO's treasuries and how they fare compared to other DAOs. All right, and then for future opportunities, we are planning to add more DAOs and more custom metrics, more alert channels, and also DAO Serve can also function as its own governance, in which many DAOs can come and vote on which metrics should be added and which DAOs should be added into the DAO Serve platform. Yep, and it's also providing tools for social network analytics through Twitter. As you can see that we can function just like Wave Alert. Yep, that's pretty much it for the presentation. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. This will definitely make it a lot easier to kind of track it as a dashboard on what's going on. This is great. Cool. Well, with that, we have 2 more demos to go. So without further ado, let's welcome License DAO whenever you're ready.
Hello, hello.
Hey, everybody. There's a lot of you here.
It's a huge team. All right, here we go. Thank you so much. So this is a short presentation on a License DAO, which we built over the DAO hackathon. So first, meet the team, who we are. I'm Anya, the legal wizard, and then we have Igor, Leon, and Paul as tech wizard, and Alina out there as our design wizard. She's a brilliant chica. These are her designs. Everything is copyrighted. All right, so what have we built? We built a License DAO, which creates a standardized repository of IP licenses residing on the IPFS infrastructure. And what we've designed so far is a very clean interface where one can first become a DAO member and submit the license to a DAO. A DAO then places the license up for voting. And the voting takes about 7 days. We use the quorum of 25% and a simple majority, meaning that more than 50% of votes have to be passed in order for the license to be approved. Once the proposal is approved, the license is stored on the IPFS storage and ready to be used by the content creators of the Web3. So basically, what we can now show with the code as well is the submission of the licenses and the voting. But first, this is the homepage. You can see all the approved licenses. You can see all the pending licenses and all the statistics with it. You can also reach the repository of all the licenses together with the filters, approved, pending, rejected. You can see the statistics on quorum, on support that these licenses got. And you can see all the members, also approved, pending, and rejected members. You see also that you can connect the digital wallet. And as soon as you do that, you access your profile. So what you can do with your profile is you can join as a DAO member. You can also edit the avatar. You can add a brief description about yourself. And then we kind of request all the DAO members to submit a cover letter where they just talk about the motivation to join the DAO. Once you submit it successfully, you can see the cover letter. You can actually see the support you got, how many people voted on it, and if anybody wanted to reject you. You will also see all the licenses that you proposed and the licenses that have been voted upon. There's also a button to add the license. As soon as you click on it, you'll see a couple of information that we ask from anyone that wants to propose the license. So first is the author name, the title of the license, abbreviations, if any, like CC0 or something, then the license version, as in 1.0, 4.0, whatever. The summary, there you should kind of use a brief description of what this license is all about. A disclaimer, if needed, if you want to give away your liability or responsibility. A statement of purpose and the license text, which is basically the legal code that is going to be applicable in the case. We also kind of ask for submitting the precursors, as in if there has been any previous history of the same license. And then once you submit, you'll see on your account that the license has been successfully submitted. You'll have this type of statistics again. So you'll see who rejected it, who approved it. And then this is to showcase which types of buttons will have vote for or vote against. Now, how it all works, we sort of use the IPFS as the storage. So all the information is basically stored on the IPFS, and we use Ceramic to create data sets. We also use Subgraph for indexing, and we deploy the smart contract on the testnet. So the idea behind is that we kind of meet the platforms halfway and the DAOs. Right now, after a couple of researches that we've made, we've also been part of Doing Good and have created the terms and conditions out there. So we are pretty familiar with the different stages or different licenses that one has available on the platforms, whereas the solution actually allows those marketplaces or the individuals to go on the license DAO, propose a license that they want to tailor-made, or just adhere to one that has been approved by the whole community. And it's not really enough to actually just end it up there, because it's not necessarily that all the websites, all the NFT platforms are going to be reaching a consensus. They don't really work like the nodes. So this is why we're going back to the protocol level. And in the future, we kind of want to create the EIP standards as well. So this is basically it. We do have a code to show as well, and we're going to share the GitHub repository. Plus, we're looking for more nerds like us, and we're going to be in Amsterdam, possibly describing the idea to many more lawyers and many more developers. So this is us.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And that was so awesome to follow, and such a cool way to think about intellectual property. This is great. Well, we hope to see this live. All right. And with that, we are ready for our last finalist demo for today. So without further ado, let's go into the DAO Power demo.
Hi guys, what's up? So this is the last one. I'll try and bring some energy and make it interesting. I've seen some pretty cool projects so far. I'd also like to thank my team member, Mohammed, who's not presenting today. But so firstly, what is DAO Power? Well, firstly, what's a DAO? So DAOs are organizations, basically token holders. And right now, we have some pretty good insights into DAOs. We typically use things like TVL, or the amount of Ethereum held, or the number of members to summarize the DAO. And you can use cool tools like CoinGecko and DeepDAO to really get inside and see what's going on with the DAO. But we wanted to take a step back and really understand the community that your DAO represents. So the very members which make up your DAO. So let's put some color on what are their holdings. So we've defined DAO Power as the total wealth held by a DAO community. And we've taken Friends with Benefits as an example. We've used Covalence APIs, which they're really cool, I'd recommend, to query the token holders and then summate all of these addresses, the token holders, all of their current holdings, so we can see what projects may overlap with your DAO. So we can get a deeper dive into what your users hold, the total financial power of them, and how is it distributed. So here's a chart of the Friends with Benefits DAO. Of the close to 6,000 members, we can see that they're holding USDC and they're holding Ape as well. So I guess ApeCoin, I can see why there's some synergies between the two groups. You can also see, like Axie and People here, so Constitution DAO. So it kind of puts a bit more color on your DAO members and the makeup of your community, which I think will be really valuable if you're thinking about joining a DAO, or even, you want insights on, your members of the DAO that you partially govern. Yeah, and you can do a deep dive and see exactly which token and how much of it your DAO members own. So, one interesting thing, you're using Covalence APIs, and we only managed to collect data for 2 DAOs. But I'd like to highlight, how this tool, DAO Power, can be used. So we've just seen Friends with Benefits. I'm going to make you remember this number, 250 million. It's about that. That's like the total holdings of all the Friends with Benefits DAO members. So you've never heard of ClearDAO unless you're a DeFi derivatives trader. It's only got 365 members of the DAO, but the actual total DAO power is higher than Friends with Benefits DAO members. It's 264 million. So that makes the DAO power per capita at 700 million, which is super interesting. So we'd like to, see what are they holding? And it seems like the members of this DAO are mostly holding USDC, USDT, Frax, and I guess KuCoin's token as well. So it's pretty interesting just to see the makeup of 2 different DAOs. And so you can see, your users, like what are the tokens they're holding, and we'd like to dive deeper. We'd like to get more granular into basketing different tokens. So for example, stable coins or DeFi projects or NFTs, and really, get a sense of who your DAO members are by what they hold. So, we managed to do this in a weekend, but we're not done yet. We want to get, more granular, see how distributed the users' funds are, or the members' funds are. For example, is it DAOs mostly holding tokens, or is it, members? And we want to, apply this. Right now it's on Ethereum, but to more chains, and Covalent lets us do that. So we're pretty excited about where we're going. And yeah, we'd love people to start building on top of this. And we'd love you guys to get more insights on the DAOs that you guys are actually part of and make up. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. This is a good way to kind of dig into the on-chain data and make a lot of that usable for more actionable items here. Amazing. Well, that concludes all 10 of our finalist demos. So I want to quickly thank all of these 10 teams that just went live and presented. So CompoundL, they don't know, I own this song's NFT, Butter, Refund, NFT DAO Factory, Review DAO, DAO Quest, DAO Serve, License DAO, and DAO Power. Congratulations to all of these 10 teams and all 128 of these projects that spent the last 48 hours and this weekend working on really cool things that they were excited about. And I know all of you are waiting for this, so let's jump right into the prizes. So the very first one is good news and bad news. The good news is that so many people used this that they were super overwhelmed as IPFS and Filecoin that they just kind of were blown away by the number of submissions they got. The bad news is that they could not come up with the list of winners in time because over 70 projects used IPFS in their demos. So as a result, we won't be able to announce all the winners now, but they will be communicated to you over Discord, email, and also on your showcase in the next 48 hours. So we're going to get right on that immediately, but we do apologize for not being able to get all that information ready by the end of this live stream. But we have everything else. So next up is Superfluid. So a lot of cool streaming hacks here. So the best overall project that used Superfluid is BricsDAO, receiving $3,000 as the first place prize. And Butter and QuickLend are going to be taking away $2,000 for the best application of DAO finance category. Then we have DisPay as the winner for the NFTs and DAOs integration with Superfluid, and they'll be receiving $2,000. And then CompoundL and Slashy are going to be receiving $1,000 each for the best use of Superfluid with other sponsors SDK. So congratulations to all of those teams. Then we have the graph. Agio DAO is going to be receiving the best use of an existing graph, the $1,500 prize. And then Review DAO wins $1,500 for the best new subgraph. And then Corporate Autonomous Organizations wins the runner-up best new subgraph prize of $500. Congratulations. Then we have Lens Protocol. So the first place goes to Lens DAO for the best DAO front end and tooling for Lens integration. And then Approvals DAO wins the runner-up $1,000 prize for the best integration with the Lens Protocol. Congratulations. Then we have the Skill Wallet prize. So CompoundL wins $1,500 for the first place and the best use of Skill Wallets SDK. And BricsDAO will receive $1,000 for the second place prize. And then we have FOSSDAO, DAO Fund, DAO Easy, DAO Hub, BCharity, Slashy, and VoiceDAO, all 7 of these splitting $700 evenly, so they'll be receiving $100 each per team. Then we have Covalent. So Covalent was offering different categories of pool prizes based on the quality and the thoroughness of that integration. So DAO Power, NFT Data House, DAOXC, DAO Serve, DAO Hub, and DAO Hunt will be receiving $300 each from the pool prize, and the remaining 11 teams listed there will be receiving $200 each. So congratulations to all of these incredible teams. Then we have the Unlock protocol prizes. So DAO Flex wins the first place prize for $2,000. DAO Found receives $1,000 for the second place and the second best integration prize for Unlock. And then Minor Pets DAO will be receiving $500 for third place for the best integration of Unlock. Congratulations to all these teams as well. And then Unlock also had a pool prize for $500. So these 13 projects will be splitting $500 evenly amongst themselves. Those were all the prizes, and congratulations to all of you that won these prizes. Don't worry if you missed this thing or if you didn't catch all the full list. There's a lot of you here, plus the Protocol Labs and the IPFS prizes. So we'll all be communicating that to you on multiple platforms, email, Discord, and your showcase page under the project. And as a quick note for all prizes, all prize delivery is contingent on a proof of us verifying your code base so we can make sure that everything that was submitted here was worked on in the last 48 hours. So none of these are final. We are going to be reviewing everything and then distributing the prizes in the next 2 weeks. That is by April 27th. And there are some cases where you may have applied for a pool prize, but you don't see your project listed there from any of those previous slides. If you don't see yourself there, but you applied for it and you're curious to understand what happened, you have 48 hours from now to dispute them or tell us that this is missing or incorrect. If you forgot to enter something during the submission process, we're happy to kind of look at this and act on it. But after the 48-hour window, we're going to lock everything and review every project, including all of our 10 demos that just went live as finalists, and then only then delivering the prizes after we have verified that everything was done appropriately and within the time period. And for those of you who want to just see what all these prizes were and also to find out what you won on your own page, you can just head over to showcase.etheglobal.com and click on the DAOHacks event and see all the 128 submissions. All right, so we're at a close. Only a couple things left before we wrap things up here and give everybody their Sunday back and also let all of you sleep. So before we end, I want to say a couple of thank yous. There's a lot of people that make this happen behind the scenes: our judges, our mentors, our volunteers, our speakers, our sponsors, our partners, and of course you as our hackers, all 500 of you that chose to spend the last 48 hours building just cool things. So all this would not be possible without you. So these are some amazing mentors that were around and judges that reviewed all these projects in the last few hours. I want to thank all of them for their time. To kind of run a 62 country, 16 time zone live judging call in a 2.5-hour window was not an easy thing. So all these amazing people helped us make that work behind the scenes to make sure it's all smooth. And I want to thank all of our staff here for giving us their time and dedication. Then we have some incredible speakers that were part of the summit, the workshops, the talks, and the panels. Without their help, we would not be able to run this event and really talk about all the latest things that are happening in the world of DAOs. So thank you to all of our amazing speakers and our partners here as well. There is so many here that were just doing so much work behind the scenes, helping you understand how you can use their SDKs to just answering questions, whether technical or how you giving product feedback to all of you here. Without their help, we would not have an amazing support system. And lastly, I want to give a quick shout out to the ETH Global team: Kevin, Kree, Huichi, Minnie, Anna, Moaz, Luke, Emily, Andrew, Jacob, and Liam for really doing all the work behind the scenes to make sure that all these events run smoothly and we plan out every single detail so you have a great experience, whether it's online or in person. So thank you to the ETH Global team. Those were all the thank yous. Of course, I missed all the hackers. I want to just quickly shout out again to all 504 of you for spending the weekend with us, building cool things about DAOs. Everything we're doing here is a glimpse in the future. And I can't wait to see everything that came out of this event become a standard 6 months from now. And that's my favorite part of all the events that we do. You really get to peek ahead and see what everybody's going to be excited about in the future. So we had 10 teams come up and we call them our finalists. And they kind of did their demo. We talked about what they did and what they're excited about, and everything that they showed was done over the weekend. So we call them our finalists because we really want these events to be an opportunity to really understand what's happening and experiment with what could be possible. As a result, we don't try to design this as a competition. We don't really disclose too many prizes. And we call them finalists because officially they all came first for DAOHacks. And to congratulate them, we will be giving $1,500 to every single team member as ETH Global for being our 10 finalists. And with that, I want to congratulate all of you here. Just like the partner prize delivery, we'll be verifying your code bases here as well before we give any prizes. So everything is contingent on us verifying everything was done according to the event rules. But all of the finalists will be receiving $1,500 here per member. So congratulations to all of you again. Hopefully this paid off by some lack of sleep. We don't recommend you don't sleep too much or don't stay up too late. But that concludes DAOHacks. I want to thank all of you here for taking the time to watch the live stream, sharing your excitement, and also building things. Really hope to see a lot of these things in production and on mainnet and using it in our day-to-day lives in the near future. So thank you so much one more time. And before we close this live stream and call it a weekend, we're super proud to announce our next hackathon that is just gone live. It is Hack Money, or one of our biggest and one of the biggest events in DeFi that's going to happen this year, is live. This will be happening on May 6th to the 27th of May online. It's going to be a lot of summits around what's happening with everything in DeFi, from developer tools to governance to new protocol designs to new ways to think about anything that's happening on the L2 side. So if you're interested in really seeing what the next wave of DeFi projects and protocol looks like, we encourage all of you to kind of attend the summits and participate in this hackathon. It's going to be one of our biggest events of the year. So head over to defi.ethglobal.com to sign up and get informed about when we're going to go live with all the details. You can still actually already sign up as a hacker. And if you're interested in rolling over existing stake to this event, you can start doing that very soon. So we'll reach out to all of you here for the prizes, the POAPs, any follow-ups, any questions that we have as part of the review process. All that will happen in the next 2 days. In the meantime, please get some rest, and we really hope to see you all again in the future. And thank you so much for being with us for DAO Hacks. With that, enjoy some lo-fi beats, and I'll signing off until next time. See you all soon. Take care.